Hello and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Understand that XRP is being promoted as a stopgap currency to repair the global payments train wreck. In fact, for roughly 50 years prior to Ripple's introduction of novel features, SWIFT was the undisputed leader in international money transfers. And it moves slowly. It's not only pricey, but also prone to mistakes. And until Ripple came along, the market saw no new developments. The old financial system included that. Not exactly a sizzling field, legacy finance. But look, this isn't the only area where banks and the legacy financial system are a complete mess, and despite what crypto haters would have you believe, our industry does not pose any systemic risks to banks or the financial industry. The financial sector benefits from crypto, and the crypto sector suffers from systemic risks in the financial sector. In fact, I have a story from Forecast titled "Banks Are Bringing Systemic Risks to Crypto," says Circle's Despart, that explains the issue in detail. That is the name he goes by at the end of the day. Truthfully, I have no idea. It could be Despart, that word certainly has a posh ring to it. Despart, who knows? Maybe I just don't know. What do you guys think? Here's another eye-catching headline courtesy of the crypto newbie who used to be a Ripple advisor. That is most certainly not a word. Michael Barr, formerly of Ripple, will head up the team reviewing SVB Oversight. Of course, that's the defunct Silicon Valley Bank. Wait, before we go any further, do you want to clarify? I come from a completely monetary background-free background. Nothing I say or write should be taken as recommendations to buy or sell any security. I'm just a fan who occasionally posts videos to YouTube about random crypto-related topics for kicks. Actually, it was lawyer John Deaton who shared a quote from this Forecast article that led me to it. The banking industry introduces systemic risks to the cryptocurrency industry. In part because I immediately thought, yup, I know it's being painted as exactly the inverse of that, but that is not true. The statement caught my attention. Some people, like, say, Elizabeth Warren, who is very visible in Congress, are spreading a false narrative. Gary Gensler is known for producing nonsense such as this. Well, anyway, the rest of this piece goes as follows. In an interview for a future episode of Word on the Block, Dante Despart, Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Global Policy at Circle Internet Financial, the issuer of USD, the second largest stablecoin by market capitalization, discussed the systemic risks that the traditional banking system poses to the cryptocurrency industry. As an example of the dangers posed by traditional financial institutions to the cryptocurrency ecosystem, Despart cited the closure of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, two major lenders to the cryptocurrency industry. Plus, you won't find that information elsewhere. However, this is the truth, and it should be made known to those who only read the mainstream media and aren't interested in crypto. Why should they be aware of anything else? Also, they hear all these claims about how crypto is bad for you. Incorrect, that's not the case at all. Here is a passage from Despart to illustrate. According to him, the bank failures in the United States have demonstrated that banks themselves are introducing risk to crypto assets, whereas the inherent direction of travel of risk that a lot of the regulators were concerned with is that crypto would introduce risk to banking, is an unfounded fear. Yeah, there are now multiple perspectives from which to consider this. Absolutely, and I believe this to be undeniably true in terms of the long-term trend of the price of cryptocurrency. It all depends on the Federal Reserve. The cryptocurrency market is reacting to the Federal Reserve. As a result of crypto, the Fed is not reacting as quickly. Considering the position of the company he works for, Circle, the cryptocurrency market is a direct result of the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes, as crypto is simply viewed as a risky asset. Silicon Valley Bank went under on a Friday, making it the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. The stablecoin, a U.S. dollar coin issued by Circle, crashed. The lowest I have seen to peg go is 87 cents. The question is why that occurred. Reason being that Circle had their funds in the defunct legacy financial system, which ultimately collapsed due to our fractional reserve banking system. So there was a bank run because Circle had some of their money at Silicon Valley Bank, and this was bad for the cryptocurrency industry and spread fear throughout the industry rather than the other way around. They, legacy finance, are wreaking havoc on our planet. The situation is not inverted. So, it was a real treat to stumble upon this here. And you can dissect this in countless different ways. Even though these are only a few examples, the point stands. The government, meanwhile, is printing dollars to insignificance. Also, I found this amusing. This 60-minute segment was posted by Patrick Bet-David. The citation follows. The Federal Reserve has an infinite supply of cash on hand. It's hard not to like that. When asked how, Patrick David responds with a how. The following quote is from Neil Kashkari, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, in March of 2020. Naturally, that happened during the pandemic. As if that weren't enough, he's trying to calm everyone down by assuring them that we have an endless supply of money. So, how could that be, exactly? So lawyer John Deaton retweeted it, and his response was both funny and spot on. And he wrote, "Wow, in the past, they would be more cautious making a statement like this. Now, however, they make no attempt to conceal it." He was about to exclaim, "Hey, man, check out this printer machine in the back. It would be about right if we just pressed a button and cash appeared." Essentially, that is what is transpiring. Simply creating new money out of thin air, which is a form of taxation. As a result, it has the same effect as taxation in reducing their purchasing power, which leads to more being produced. They might steal from you or make your money worth less. In the end, it amounts to the same thing. And that's just completely ridiculous. In addition, crypto newbie and former Ripple advisor Michael Barr will be heading up a review of SVB Oversight. In July of 2015, Michael Barr became a member of the Ripple Labs advisory board. You can see him on the screen now. It is unknown why he left Ripple. After everything that's been going on, though, I just find this kind of fascinating. Oh, and in case you hadn't heard, Ripple does have funds at Silicon Valley Bank. They, like all depositors, are probably relieved that the government stepped in to, protect depositors. They're not acting as bank guards. The bank will not be saved. The bank may no longer exist, but customer funds are secure. The text is as follows: the failure of Silicon Valley Bank will be investigated, and the Fed board has confirmed that Michael Barr, the board's vice chair for supervision, will head the investigation. In a press release issued on Monday, the Fed announced that the results of this review would be made public on May 1. In 2015, Barr became an advisor for Ripple. There is no indication of when he resigned from his position as a Ripple advisor, but he is no longer on the roster. Barr was one of the primary architects of the Dodd-Frank Act, which forbade banks from trading customer deposits, while serving in the Obama administration's Treasury Department. It was in July of 2022 that he began serving as vice chair of supervision after being nominated for the position by then Vice President Joe Biden. It's a crucial part of the financial regulatory system in the United States. Let's get into the specifics, because there's some dubious business happening here. There's also this CNBC article. The collapse of VBS is being investigated by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Department of Justice. I can't say with any certainty that these individuals are guilty of insider stock sales, but I can say that it appears to be the case at first glance. Even if this is the case, I'd always find myself wondering how the heck the perpetrators imagine they will get away with it. I get that it's millions of dollars, but you risk jail time if you steal. That's beyond my comprehension. Some people's attitude of, well, this is clearly going to go down in flames is beyond my ability to understand. Consequently, I've decided to sell out and give myself a little golden parachute. Since you have access to confidential information, what you're suggesting is technically illegal. So, I can't say for sure if that's the case. For the sake of precision, let's say that. But what I am saying is that it doesn't look good at first glance. Moreover, I would be very surprised if nothing illegal was taking place here. However, take a look at this. On Tuesday, NBC reported that the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Justice Department were looking into what caused Silicon Valley Bank to become the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. Each investigation is independent and at an early stage. One of them is looking into stock sales made by SVB executives before the collapse of the tech-focused bank. This is what those in the know say. The Justice Department's investigation is being headed by the Northern District of California. Authorities reportedly took extraordinary measures to save the financial system after the recent failures of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, both of which specialized in cryptocurrency, sending markets, and particularly the shares of regional banks, into disarray. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report the news on Tuesday that federal regulators would be guaranteeing deposits at SVB and Signature Bank and announcing a new funding facility for troubled banks. According to the sources cited in that article, investigators are still in the preliminary stages of their work and there may be no charges filed. Read this. So now things are getting interesting and fine. I don't want to get my hopes up too high if no charges end up being filed. Unfortunately, the situation currently presents a very negative image. You made the decision to sell just before your bank went out of business, which is ironic. Since when, and for what cause? On the same day that SVB CEO Gregory Becker sold 12,451 shares after exercising options to do so, SVB CFO Daniel Beck sold 2,000 shares. The filings with the regulators revealed that the sales were made as part of 10b5-1 plans, a type of insider trading arrangement. There was a lack of response to the Wall Street Journal's requests for comment, as reported by Beck and Becker. Indeed, we're talking about millions of dollars here. In the event that there is nothing present. Okay, that's why I'm making an effort to be objective. But, to be honest, I believe that I am. Yes, I believe that is the case. I am saying what I believe and intend to say. So, I'm not going to crucify them just yet because I'm the type of guy who likes to have all the facts before making a decision like that. Yet I am confident in saying that this is, at the very least, undesirable. The visuals are terrible, that much is certain. It's plainly obvious to anyone with a functioning brain around here. Is it possible that they realized the ship was sinking and grabbed whatever they could before it sank to zero? Unfortunately, I can't say for certain. Maybe it's just weird timing, maybe it's just timing, maybe it's just timing. Strange, though, how that actually works. In cases like this, it's funny how that usually turns out. I don't pretend to be an expert on money matters. Nothing I say or write should be used as a basis for making any financial decisions. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.